Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do some up potting today. I wanted to show you how the little chickies are doing and the older chicks that are 2 weeks older than my little chicks that I just recently got. My older ones are starting to take flight. So I had to put this little baby gate up to keep them inside the box. But they're doing pretty good. Look how big they've been got. Might help if I lift this up. Let me see if I can go on the other side. I'll show you the little ones though first. And they are really growing too. All up underneath the heat light there and enjoying the heat this morning. And here's some over here. Let me see if I can lift this up so y'all can see. They might get scared though, I don't know. Here's the biggies. And my Red Ranger, she is huge. She's only, like I said, they're getting closer. Sunday they'll be 3 weeks old. But my Red Ranger, you can pick her up and she feels like 2 baseballs put together. I mean, she is heavy. That's that one right there under the pole. Let me put that back down. I planted these all at the same time, but as you can tell, I still got some that are still coming up. So I've just kind of been up potting them a little at a time. Here's some that I up potted a couple of days ago, and these right here are kind of getting leggy, so I need to up pot those today. Those are my tomato plants. And I'm probably going to let my peppers get a little bit more growth on them before I up pot those. So what I'm up potting with is some potting mix by Miracle Grow. And I want to show you. See how light and airy and fluffy the soil is? That's what you want when you up pot. I've got some of these solar cups left from where I did the Chinese pink celery at, so I'm reusing them. And these 3 have already gotten slits in them. So basically, I'm going to fill this up, top it off. I'm going to take this popsicle stick. I had a bunch of these from where me and Jess did a homeschool craft years ago. I saved them because I figured I could use them for something else, and sure enough, I'm going to be using them today. Basically, I just stick my popsicle stick down in there and pull up, and it brings it up. And so now, I'm just going to, should have made the hole earlier. Let me slide that to the side. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So make you a hole deep enough. And on tomato plants, you see how long the stem is on that one? I'm going to take it all the way down to right about there. See how I'm going to bury it? And that way you can get rid of that legginess, and it'll just grow roots on that stem. And it also will make your tomato plant a whole lot stronger as it grows. Of course, I got the splits on the bottom of the cup, and I'll just set it down in the tray. And once I get these other ones up potted, I'll fill these trays up with some water, and it'll water it from the bottom up, which is really good for your tomato plants. Feels like old man winter today. The next 2 days is going to be really windy and very cold. Our lows is going to be 25 at night, which has kind of got me a little bit stressed. My cabbage and my Brussels sprouts and broccoli are cold, you know, they're cold hardy. But when your temperatures get down to about 25 to 20 at night, that's when you kind of want to probably maybe cover them up. Because they need that little just extra care. They could survive that, but I just don't want to take my chances. So I'll be going out there and covering them up today. And I'll just have to do that for the next 2 nights, just to make sure those babies don't get frostbitten. I've got some exciting things that are going to be happening in the next week or so. here on the homestead. And y'all stay tuned. I'm just really, really excited. I'm so excited. I want to tell y'all, but I'm like, nope. Got to keep it a surprise. Definitely some changes are going to be happening here in the next week or so. Also, with your tomato plants, you want to make sure that you keep an eye on the watering. Tomato plants really love the water, and so do the peppers. So just want to check every so often and stick your finger in the soil. And you should be able to, you know, like for instance, this would be a thing with the tomato in it. Stick your finger in the soil, and if you get down to about 1 inch or 2 and it's not really wet, it feels like it's getting bone dry, then you need to pour some more water. Excuse me. You need to pour some more water in your trays so that they can keep, you don't want to like oversaturate them, but you don't want them to dry out either. Also want to show you guys what I have cooking today on this cold and windy day. I thought this would be something good to eat. I got me some coffee to warm up too, but check this out. Jason's uncle gave us these pinto beans and some beef fat, so I soaked these overnight, and now I got them in the crock pot with the beef fat cooking in there. I'll show you what kind of seasoning I put in there. If you have never tried this right here, y'all, slap your mama. A little bit of heat to it. It's not like overly intensely spicy, but it does have a little bit of a kick to it. I added a bunch of that in there. I thought it would make a lovely taste to it. And so these would be really good for these 2 days that are going to be really, really cold. I like to take some onions too and fry them up in the pan with a little bit of oil and chop up some tomatoes and put them in there. You're talking about good, and cook you some cornbread to go with it. Yes. That's some good stuff. A few videos back, I was telling you guys, I hope y'all can hear me real well. It's windy out here. I was telling y'all that my daffodils that I transplanted, well, I uprooted them from the hill over there, over here into my garden bed. They had plastic buckets around them, and they were cracked. And I thought maybe that's why they weren't blooming. We've been here for 3 years, and they hadn't bloomed except for one of them. So I was figuring, well, I'll put them over here out of the plastic bucket, and maybe they'll do better. Well, this year they came up nice and green, as you can tell. They came up very nice and green, but the one that bloomed the year before was the only one that bloomed. And I've got 5 clusters in all, and just one bloomed. And I'm like, so what is the deal with this? I mean, I took them out of the ground and out of the plastic and replanted them, transferred them over here to my garden beds, and they're still not blooming. So I looked it up, and it says that if you don't have your root deep enough in the ground, that might be one of the problems. And the other problem is, it might be too much of a cluster. So what I'm going to do both. I'm going to sink them into the ground a little bit deeper, and I'm going to space them out. You know, I'm going to break these apart, space them out a little bit. And I guess the only bad thing about it is I won't find out till next year whether that worked or not. But we're going to try that and see what happens. Now that I got a few of them divided, I'm just going to sporadically, here's another worm right here, so we know we got some good soil. I'm going to pop him back into the ground. I'm just going to randomly dig holes in this space right here and plant them kind of deeper than I had them. I got good rich soil. I've been working on these beds. Still got quite much red clay in it. That's what we have around here in this area. Just want to dig as deep as I can get it. I got this plastic hand shovel right here. My metal one walked off. It grew legs. I don't know where it went. It might be down there in the garden. I might check here in a minute. Let's see if that's deep enough. So if I put this back in the ground, it really, I think it needs to go more than that. Let me show y'all. So this would be on the surface. I think I want to go a little bit deeper. I want to go a little bit deeper than that. Let me go find my metal shovel because it's going to dig because it's getting harder as I go deeper. All right, found it. All right, so let me see if I can dig. The further I go into the ground here, especially closer to the house, it gets more rockier and sandier, so it's harder to dig out. Let's see if that's deep enough. Oh yeah. So it's going to be about that deep in the ground. So we're going to try that and just plant these. Ooh, we got some more. No more of these lovelies. We'll throw them back in. So we're going to try that out and see. Hopefully next year we'll have blossoms. And they also said that a lot of times if you get a lot of males, a male plant instead of a female plant to go with them, that they won't produce as well. So the only time we'll tell, we'll have to be very, very patient, which is sometimes kind of hard for me. I don't know about you guys. And we will find out hopefully the following year. Definitely, if somebody liked to go fishing, they would have had the worms galore. I put the rest of them in the soil, but I got a few for the girls here and some grub worms. So early worm gets the bird, but in their case, the fastest chicken will get the worm or the grub. Here we go. Yeah, y'all ate them up real quick, didn't you, girls? Didn't you, ladies? Gave y'all some protein. Oh, yeah. Figured while I was in there, I would check their eggs. They gave me a few this morning, so I got a few more. So that is all the work I put into transferring those and spacing them out. And I even took the one that was over there near the shovel head there and just brought it over here. I thought maybe if I mix those in, since two of those bloomed, that mixing it, if I do have males, maybe it will encourage them to blossom as well next year. So we'll see. I'm gonna let y'all walk down to the garden with me. We're gonna finish up our outdoor chores, and then I gotta go inside and do the house chores. But they've got to be done, and then maybe I can come back out here and enjoy this gorgeous weather. Even though it started off really, really, really cold this morning, it's turned out to be a fantastic day. The wind is a little chilly, but with the sun combination, it's not really that bad out here. And me working in the garden, well, the flower beds, now I'm in the garden, it has really got me nice and toasty, so I'm good to go. So let me show you what I'm getting ready to do. I ordered these rods off of the Walmart site, not trying to advertise or promote this or whatever, but I've never used these before, but that's where I got them at. They're fiber optic, what did I say? Fiber optic, they're fiberglass. All right, get it right, girl. They're fiberglass rods, and they bend. See how they bend? And I got 10 of them. I probably should have got more, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, so basically, I'm going to stick these into the ground. Hold on a minute. I'm going to show you. Hold on, I'm going to get this first one going. Well, you probably can see this one better. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you this one. Woo! I'll be careful because these things can go back. Just stick them. I'm sticking them on either side of my broccoli. This is my broccoli. I'm sticking it on the other side of my broccoli. And I'm basically, let's see if I can show you. Let me turn the camera here. Making hoops where I can put a blanket. Let me get my blanket and show you. All right, so here's my blanket. And I can take this blanket and I can lay it across these rods where they're covering the plants, but they're not like on top of them, smothering them out. And hopefully that'll keep the really, really cold snap that's coming these next 2 nights off of them, just out of precaution. These are frost hardy plants, but when it dips around 25 to 20 degrees, you want to really kind of cover them up just to be safe than sorry. I know these 4 in the front look kind of weird, but I put them a little bit like that because I've got my peas that are coming up, and so I need to have them covered too so it won't get them, my other ones up there. But the other ones I did more of an arch. These are more of a kind of an arch lean. And I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna put the blanket on just to show you, but I'm gonna take it back off. I'll come back down here later in the evening to put it back on to keep them warm tonight. This blanket is not quite long enough, but it kind of gives you an idea. It just kind of covers them and gives them protection. And so I'll have to get some more blankets. Use ones that you don't necessarily mind that gets a little dirty. This is one that I use for my dogs. And so yeah, we got that. And then over here, we got the greenhouse. I done zip that up for the day so I don't forget about that. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do about my celery though on this bed. Ooh, check it out, y'all. I got distracted. Look at that mushroom. That thing is gigantic. Growing mushrooms. I don't know if that's one I can eat though. So, like I said, I've got these alongside this bed. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out something that I can do to cover those up as well. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification button to know when I post another video. Y'all have a wonderful day. Until next time, we'll see you soon.